Learn one thing from the Joker cards. Let it be that you're the shit in 6 different views. Diamond, anyway you turn it, that we love you. I guess it's time. I told you how great you are. Okay, I thought that was a cool little way to start it. Start our first episode of the Scum and D.Villeny vlog/pod, whatever this will grow to be. That is a classic favorite track of mine. One of the first I heard around the time I started listening, in between, right before Shangri-La. It's called It's Time, if y'all want to check that out. And I think that's a good way to start this out. From me to you, letting you guys know I think it's about time I told you how great you are. And that's for the family, the homies, all those out there. Might not know each other yet. Give it some time. We'll get to know each other. And you know, we're working some things out. We'll get an intro song. Maybe I'll get a greeting. We'll get a rapport going with each other. Then maybe I'll even be feel comfortable enough to give you a little face action. You know, I don't just walk around showing anybody the goods. This is the moneymaker. You got to get to know me. Buy me a little wine. Wine and dine me if you want. If you want to see this, you know, and give you a little chin action. All right. So it's fucking fuck the bullshit. Okay, so we'll try to get into this quick because I'm gonna say this is probably my at least third time trying this. I did a 0 episode. Really should be like 0 episode volume 3. Pretty much every time I've tried to start this, I fucked it up in some way. But you know, I'm not gonna let it get me down. I've taken each one as a learning experience. A lot of this shit I should have known. It's not my first time with AV, but it's taking the time to get back in the swing of things. A little explanation. Let's try to do this again quickly. The original version that I first tried ended up like 2.5 hours long. I did it originally for the Knot Drop and for the Gathering of Legends. I thought it would be a good time to talk about shit. I had a lot of things on my mind I wanted to say, and I got a couple of homies that are down with the shit, but they're not down. They get pages and pages of text from me, and I'm sure they're tired of it. On Reddit, it's like pages and pages. I don't want to fucking bomb Reddit and my homies with bullshit they don't want to see. So this is for the people that do care about the opinions. And so I started out like with the Gathering and the Knot, and I was going to talk about those things and even get like a sprinkle a little bit of other freshness in there to talk about. Won't be an exclusively like Juggalo only podcast. It'll be all underground culture, pop culture. We'll get into the names and the origins of that later. I even want to do like my Juggalo testimonial, like my origin story. So that being said, I got into the nitty gritty of how I felt about the Knot, which I'm going to redo, what was going on at the Gathering. And I kind of did it little by little and also trying to explain myself what we're doing here. And it just fucking got massive. It got huge like stretch nuts, like the stretch nuts of a 9-year-old man just fucking hanging across the floor, swinging back and forth to where I just, even editing, I couldn't chop it down. It was a fucking nightmare. I had fan going in the back, even on the 0 episode. I tried to drop it again on TikTok, just a Knot review, and that was fucking terrible. I just wanted to get, you know, at least my opinion on the Knot out there before I forgot my bullet points. And if you go back and look at that, it's pretty fucking funny. It's a treat. You can play a fun drinking or smoking game if you go back and watch it. Every time you hear a loud, phlegmy cough in the background of one of my family members, take a shot or a smoke, and you will be fucked up by the end of that. So yes, I have put a lot of effort into this, and with the original, as I started to talk about the gathering and talk about the knot, I would stop a little ways in and take some time. And I have put a lot of effort into this. And with the original, as I started to talk about the gathering and talk about the knot, I would stop a little ways in and take some time. And I just wanted to get, at least my opinion before I started on the next one, because it got fucking hot in the mask, and I just wanted time to check over what I was doing. And each time I would stop, it's the thing about reporting, like, I wasn't necessarily reporting on the gathering. I was reporting on the fact, like, this is the 25th gathering and we're about to hear some shit. But every time I would start back, some crazy shit would drop and we'd hear about some things. And ironically, I do want to put out there before I forgot my bullet points at. So yes, I have put a lot of effort into this, and with the original, as I started to talk about the gathering and talk about the knot, I would stop a little ways in and take some time and at least get some clips of that original video up, because ironically, as I was introducing my podcast and giving my reasons for starting it, was like this shit was what I was talking about was simultaneously going on at the gathering. Like, if you would have watched it with no context, my introduction, you would think that I started it because of what happened at the gathering. But no, I think everybody could feel, pretty much feel there was something in the air, and it's been happening for a while now. People are coming into our culture and exploiting it. The same people that have been making fun of us for the last 5 or 10 years are now coming to the gathering, exploiting it for views and fucking likes and channel subscribers, and some people pretending to be down with the culture, some people just coming in and using us, as a fucking quick butt of the joke, which is nothing we're not used to. Of course, I mean, it's kind of pretty stale and played out. It's become like the popular thing to do. It was so crazy to come to the gathering. And so as I was talking about, I was trying to even talk around the subject of how I felt about it. I'm looking on what's going around, the rumors and shit, about the craziness going on. And pretty much everybody knows now what happened. I don't need to report on the incident, or we know there's some influencers there. We didn't take kindly to it. It's not even the fact that they're not of our culture. It's that they didn't respect us, the people they're dealing with. If you come in and you say, wow, this is a great thing, I really appreciate it for what it is, and I got it all wrong, or I don't even expect people to change their mind, but to come in and totally disrespect and exploit us, that's some bullshit. And so to start with what I originally, the two things that had really been eating away at me, where I finally said, fuck this, I have to get some shit off my chest, like a fucking like a German scat porn star. I had to get this shit off my chest, because it was just building up. And one of the big things was not necessarily just normal influencers, but there started to, I noticed a rising thing happening with a lot of people talking about things going on in the underground culture and the juggalo culture and the family culture, is that people that are, I don't like saying reporting, because none of us are journalists. You're really just, most of these people are fucking just, they're regurgitating the shit and giving their opinions on it. It's really pissed me off. It's happened with fucking comedy. It's happening with politics and anything that, pop culture, anything that people are really that really get invested in. People are going into it with their own agenda, for one, and secretly trying to squit secretly trying to fit a square peg into a round hole by somehow forcing their agenda onto an otherwise uh fucking otherwise culture that would not fit together with their thoughts and agendas. And it's just like I said, it's happening a lot in everything, and the comedy podcast and politics, politics, music, pop culture, comics, movies, all the shit. People are they're coming in with their own agendas and trying to push their narrative on the shit. And most importantly, my biggest pet peeve is they've become pundits. Everyone is a fucking pundit now. Like, the cliche, like everyone's a critic. That's basically what it is. Everyone's got their opinion now on a story. They're basically all Fox News anchors. And like, let me back up. That's not just a negative fucking thing. I'm not trying to start out as a fucking political. No, let me not point out Fox News specifically. Some people don't like MSB, whatever. Your biased news organization. That's how I feel. Everyone, even in our culture, now has become a pundit on shit, and they're not reporting. They're coming in. Okay, like, obviously we're all gonna have an opinion. That's cool. I get it, because some people, especially when it comes to the beefs and what you prefer and who you prefer, I get it. Me myself, I don't buy into all this the drama bullshit and the beast bullshit. I'm not going to be talking about that. My mantra is to try and stay away from the clickbaity shit. What I'm really going to try to do here on the Scum and D.Villeny show, we'll just call it the show for now, the Scum and D.Villeny show, is just be positive, man. We're just gonna fucking we're just gonna shine. We're gonna talk about the things we like. That's how I feel. Is we're not gonna talk about the shit we don't like. We're not gonna spend time hating on shit. We're not gonna spend time with clickbaity bullshit talking about dramas and beefs. There's a lot of other people, that get into it. There's podcasts, this and that. I'm not knocking them or dissing them. Someone has to do it. I'm guilty of fucking reading up on the shit, and I'm not necessarily listening to Juggalo podcasts or underground podcasts. I don't need to, because I'm already familiar with most of the information. I listen to my own. I have my own things that I listen to. It's things that I'm not going to know about, like politics or things I'm not as well informed on. And sometimes I'm guilty of reading about these beefs and shit too. It's like wrestling or reality TV, like it's a guilty pleasure. Except for me, I don't like it. I don't like knowing these things. I wish, as any fucking old school juggalo would tell you, we wish the family was still together. We wish mom and dad never got divorced, or not even that. I'm not even speaking on that situation specifically. And I'm going to try, as I go, I'm going to try to remember that maybe not everyone is here just to know about Juggalo things. So I'm referring about an ICP and Twisted Beef. But again, not getting into that. We're not getting into all the fucking bullshit. Like, we're just going to talk about things we like and I like. And I hope that y'all are cool with that. I'm not going to be on here talking about some purely speculative bullshit. Okay, and just to give you an example, like, hey man, I know this is an HOK mask. This is House of Crazies. I'm rocking it with the fucking SV, a fucking supervillain shirt, and a psychopathic jersey to knock it off. I mean, if you got a good eagle eye, you can see, man, I'm a little bit of mix of everything, and that's probably what I'm most excited about is getting to show off my merch, my fucking cool ass merch that has been sitting in the closet. And if anyone knows how to fix holes on t-shirts, the moths have gotten to some of my vintage. Anyways, I digress. So yeah, that's the mantra. We're gonna try to be positive, man, and just spread the love and spread the shine. Fuck the bullshit. So I'm gonna really try to power through on this one as much as possible and not trip myself up on bullshit digressions like I kind of just did, but that's more. I'm going to give myself a pass. It's more of an introduction to how things roll with D.Villeny and Scum. By the way, I forgot the fucking like the crux of the show, and when you're introducing yourself, I'm D.Villeny. Hey y'all, I'm D.Villeny. This is Scum and D.Villeny, the Scum and D.Villeny show. You may have seen me around on the things. I used to rap. I still do music. Occasionally, kind of slacked off a little bit. You might have seen me under the name Surreal the Entertainer. Lately, it's D.Villeny. I've got some content, some video content out there. I've got some. Maybe you've seen my TikToks. I've got a couple open verses. So Surrealist Entertainment, Surreal. That was like my old school thing, and the homies and D.Villeny. I'm from the Ville. If y'all don't know about it, look up J. Cole and all that good stuff. At Fort Bragg and shit. But so uh, uh, I was thinking about it like I'm probably not the only one. There's probably a good bit of podcasters or content creators that were, I don't want to say failed musicians, but were musicians that still, or some kind of creatives that still had their microphones laying around and said, hey, I'm not going to sell it. It's not getting any use. Let's do something with it. I may be projecting there, but that was my situation. I said, hey, if I'm not going to fucking spit on it, I'm going to spit on it the other way, like fucking hot Tua girl. I'm going to fucking spit on this thing one way or the other. That feels like an edit. All right. So I got through the introductions, and excuse me if you see me fucking around. I have some bullet points to not get myself too off a track, and I'm thinking that I breezed myself through a lot of it. So, fucking like, subscribe, all that bullshit. We will get some socials going and get more organized and hopefully get an actual team. When I say we, I mean myself. If you've seen the 60-second talk show promos, the 60-second talk show is not a real show. It is actually just a promo to get you to come to here. But like the 60-second talk shows, promos, they're fucking fun. They're a way for me to do skits and get my creative juices a flowing, and get y'all around to the main course. They're the edibles you take before fucking coming down here and having the fucking filet mignon. Or if you're fucking vegan, fucking impossible burger or fried butter, whatever the fuck you guys want. Okay, so I really don't have to talk much on the gathering. I said, like, we know there was controversy going on. There wasn't that much news dropped aside from some things about the Knot, which is the only thing about dropping an album during your event, during the gathering, is that there's not much news to tell except for, what the Knot represented and was supposed to be, which I felt like everybody got. Didn't really need much explanation, but for those that didn't know, it was Jay saying that the knot was for all the people that don't believe, obviously, and that don't uh, get the wraith or heaven or hell. Uh, and I will get into that in my knot review, and I have into the fucking quick episode 0 episode knot review I did. I have some theories and just some feelings about the knot, but I really don't feel like that was news. And as I've said, and I'll state later, didn't really need to say it, except they didn't give much exposition in the introduction, which is like the first ever for a fucking Joker's card. Again, I'm not shitting on the album. I got some great things to say about it. But had they had gave us a little bit more exposition and gave us a fucking intro like we were used to with the knot, you might not had to have done that explaining. They even says some things in the promo. I get it, it's minimal, it's the knot, it's supposed to be minimalist, but you at least could have thrown that in there. However, it's also pretty fucking apparent. So but like that being said, there was no big news. Not that I've gathered, and maybe I'll check back. It was really more just what was going on there, and from what I've seen, though, pretty much like every act did great and really showed up. Waka Flocka blew some people away. I seen him painted up. That was dope. The only person that really got the bone, and in turn the Juggalos got the bone, was Ill Bill. I don't know what the fuck was up with that. Man, we've got to treat our artists better. I've heard in the past, like with Meth and Red, they felt a certain type of way, how they got treated at the gathering. Given everybody knows how it's going to go, but still, if we want to get legends coming back, we've got to do a little bit better. But I'm not one to preach. What I will say is I fucking met MC Chris. For y'all that don't know, he did like I Want Candy on Aquatine and Fetch Vet and shit. He's like a nerdcore rapper, I guess you could say. I've been listening to him probably as long as I've been listening to ICP. I'm a big Aquatine fan. I've met all the Aquatine guys, and I met MC Chris, and I told him, I said, man, I'm a juggalo, and I caught I caught your a video of him at the gathering. And just a real quick aside, I actually myself have not got yet together. I've gotten the bone on many occasions, and I'll give you all the good details if you watch my video later on. My origin story, we'll call it for now. But I as I did see a video with MC Chris where the dude was fucking killing it, man. And I've seen him about 2 or 3 times. And when he gets into it, he does something that I like to do too, which is when he gets to flowing, he closes his eyes. He's in the moment. He's got his eyes closed and just gets pelt with the fucking full beer can. And it was pretty fucking whack to say. I was hoping that nobody did it intentionally. I wouldn't have been surprised if he stopped and gave it like, oh fuck, or back to whatever, even had to leave the stage. This man kept flowing like it was nothing. Just fucking literally just let it roll off his back, just bounced off of him. And I thought that shit was so professional. And I've seen many other juggalos say the same thing. I had to tell him this in person when I met him. And hopefully I can get a video up here just so y'all, or I don't have a video, a picture of me with him just so y'all know I'm not bullshitting. But I told him on behalf of the juggalos in the crowd, like, my bad. We're not all like that. I hope it wasn't intentional. We're a rough crowd, but on behalf of me and all the juggalos, man, you're a professional dude. You're cool as fuck. And he told me straight up, he was like, man, it's nothing. He said, that's the gathering. You know what you're signing up for when you go. He said he knew what to expect, which I thought was a cool way of dealing with it. And again, man, just super professional, cool to the core. I wish he'd had more crossover with the Juggalos. I don't know if I see him doing more things with ICP. He definitely seems like he would be at an Astronomicon. So maybe that's something that can be honed in on or put together. I think he'd fit right in at an Astronomicon, even if not for a show, for signings. I mean, I can say, though, I can see why he hasn't been back since then. He's definitely older now and probably doesn't feel like getting knocked in the head with no more beer cans. So that's someone who hasn't called me in a while. That's weird. Okay, so the guy that was just stale about the ill bill shit. But everything else, I'm just a couple little things, just stories about the influencers over to just really fucking kind of causing some staleness there. But all in all, nothing world breaking and nothing news shattering. So at least it seemed to be a decent gathering by most standards. It's not the craziest shit that's happened. Nobody got Tila Tequila that I know of. So, yeah, and if I miss anything, I'll go back and get on that. So, what I'm going to do right now is, because I fucked myself so hard last time, going about an hour in, I'm going to take this moment to take a break at this point. We're through the gathering. We're through the introduction. I'll be back to do this not review one more time. And then hopefully, if this shit's not too long, I can dig into the freshness, the bonus freshness. That's probably what we'll call these other segments. I'll be right back. If I can fucking get this shit to stop record. We